nothing else.
Oh, those things hurt. Those things itch. So, hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, now you say that. Now I gotta itch it.
So Kel and I, over this past weekend, we spent a lot of time outside, and she came back from Sioux Falls where Stephen had some baseball tournaments, and then I stayed behind for some family matters, and we both got bit up by various insects.
Oh no, I got chiggers. So no, I'm talking like all over my ankles, like, oh yeah, like bad. So now I know, and you know what, clear fingernail polish, I get them every year. Clear fingernail polish legit works for chiggers. Legit. So good stuff. So if you guys haven't attended one of these are pretty easy going. We're just here to answer questions when it comes to crystals or what crystals are best for kind of maybe some certain situations and things like that. So this is really pretty well like crystal related. And I always like to bring Eric along because he knows a lot about the exotics. He's the one that orders a lot of our exotic stuff. And so it's really nice to have him here because when he starts talking exotics, I'm just like, woohoo, squirrel, because there's so much to already memorize. That's why when it comes to exotics, it's a lot easier for him to do it. So if you guys have any questions, by all means, start asking. Not really any questions are off limits, really. But body butter from New Skin is best for bug bites.
All right.
I'm about ready to like seriously gnaw at it like my dog. Oh,
or like from the Saw movie.
Yeah. Went to the Museum of Shadows with our small granddaughters, gave them smoky quartz to keep them protected. Is that a good choice? I would say next time do the black tourmaline. So smoky isn't bad. It does protect. So that's not too shabby. But black tourmaline and black obsidian or snowflake obsidian, gold sheen obsidian, silver sheen obsidian, snowflake obsidian, any of the obsidians are great for protection. So, but black tourmaline by far is the number one to help kind of protect you from that negativity or bringing anything home. I know a lot of people, when they go to that Museum of Shadows, they get real tired afterward, and it really is draining. I haven't been there. No thanks. I like happy dead people, not things that are attached to things like that. So that is so not my thing. But I know everybody that even just for curiosity reasons, I totally understand why people do it. So, but the biggest thing is just always go into something like that protected. And black tourmaline, whether it's a bracelet, whether it's, a tumbled crystal, pendant, earring, something like that, that'll help protect you. So those are always really, really good ones to have. Weight loss ideas, Sherry. A couple things. One, I always tell, especially my empaths, don't eat with guilt. So that's number one thing I'm going to tell you. I know it's not necessarily crystal related, but a lot of my empaths, they'll eat something, then they feel bad about it. And that's not how you want to eat something. You want to eat something because you deserve it. That's a little bit easier for your body to digest and let it slide. So the number one best crystal for weight loss, believe it or not, blue apatite. So blue apatite is a really, really good one. There's other things like yellow jasper that actually helps with the metabolism. So that would be another really good one that I would suggest as well. And I always tell people when it comes to, blue apatite, just stick it where you're kind of snacky, stick it where you get kind of hungry or when, you get bored and start thinking about food. So that really helps you kind of think about the food choices instead of just like reaching for the donuts like I just did my snack cakes. Crystals for children who have night terrors. Rose quartz is a really good one. Blue sandstone, green sandstone is another really good one too, but those really help. Howlite would be the last one that I would also suggest. Those really, really help. So,
and a lot of times stick the stones between the kid's box spring and a mattress. So it's kind of like a set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you put it in the kid's pillow or, just in their sheets, they're going to get lost.
Yep. So I'm getting my glasses so I can read.
For peepers.
No, I can't read. But I like the guilt idea. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crystals for children who have night terrors.
Yeah, we just said that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was anxiety. That was a different question.
No. Yeah. No, the ones for the kids is, like I said, that's that blue sandstone. Rose quartz is another good one. Howlite. Those are all really good ones.
Mm-hmm.
La, 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 la. Okay.
Crystals for fatty liver.
Crystals for fatty liver. I want to say yellow aventurine.
It's a yellow jasper too.
Yellow jasper. Yep. Pretty much any of the darker yellow ones are really going to help, or anything like that yellowy orangey color. Those are really going to be great for that. So I would include carnelian in on that one. I would also kind of do like that red blossom jade or like a red aventurine, because that will also help with that fatty liver and kind of break it down a little bit. So that helps. Is it okay to lay crystals on a copper plate, or will that affect them? No, it's totally fine. So especially if the copper plate happens to have like a tree of life, or it has like the seed of life, if it has a sacred symbol on it, actually, believe it or not, that'll actually help to charge it as well. And then putting things underneath the copper pyramid is another way that you can charge your crystals. So there's a lot of different ways that you can charge crystals. I mean, selenite's a really good one. Full moon, of course, but sticking them underneath a pyramid. So whether that's a copper pyramid or a glass pyramid or anything like that, those actually help to cleanse and charge those crystals as well. So totally fine. Totally fine to do that. Crystals to keep chatty people at bay at work. So black tourmaline, believe it or not, that's, like I said, black tourmaline's a really good one for that, because it just rids negativity, but it helps to kind of put up a little bit more firmer of a boundary. Same with black obsidian. That would be another one that I would say that would kind of help to put up the boundary. And the other one thing for you, Katie, that I would suggest would be something like green aventurine, or maybe even a piece of malachite. So that way you aren't so overly empathic and feeling the need to take the time out of your day to talk to them about whatever their problems are. So those are really good kind of more empathic protection type crystals. Same with amazonite. That's another really good like empathic protection crystal. So that would be a really good one as well. But usually any of those like black or red, like black onyx, garnet is another really good kind of protective type crystal as well. Let's see here.
Marlon has a question. Pet has terrible anxiety with storms. What could help?
Amethyst. We have little charms that go on their little collars. And so they've been great little sellers. I don't know how much they are off the top of my head. Are they
I think $14.44,
$19.99, something like that. Yep. And it just goes right on their collar, and it's in the heart shape of a heart, but it's a little crystal. And that does, amethyst is a really good one to help with anxiety, especially with pets, especially with the 4th of July coming up. I would tell you lapillidite. So lapillidite or pink tourmaline, amethyst, those are all really good crystals to have underneath the pet bed or underneath your bed, wherever these poor little animals go for the 4th of July with all that ruckus going on. I know that our dogs are A-okay with it, but our dogs from the past really had issues with it. So.
And something else that we saw in the store too, it's not crystal related, but regarding the pets, and we want to kind of clear the air. When some people come in, we do sell pet CBD that helps with anxiety. Well, people will come in like the night before the 4th of July. That's not a sufficient amount of time. Studies show it takes anywhere between a few days upwards to 2 weeks for the CBD to start having its effects on animals such as dogs and cats.
Yeah.
So I'm always perfectly clear with people that come in and then they say, well, maybe I'll just give them a high dose. I'm like, no, it's not. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It's like taking a multivitamin.
Yeah.
So
Daniel says, I keep looking for green jade elephants or towers. You know what? Okay, so we're having a crystal showcase. Saturday night, starts at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we're actually going to be offering 20% off all the crystals that I'm going to be showing. I do have white and lemon jade towers. I don't have elephants, and those have been harder to find. Trust me, I'm trying to find them. So anyway, when it comes to jade elephants, those are kind of tougher to find, especially green ones. Seems like I can find the white jade easier than the green for whatever reason. And lemon jade, that's pretty common. So, but that's going to be this Saturday night. So I really encourage you guys to attend. I got some really cool stuff. So very unique things. Even he was like, what is this? So it's some pretty cool stuff. So I'm really going to have you guys attend. All you have to do is that there's a form, and I'll be posting it all over. Just fill out the form, and you can do it before or after the show. It doesn't matter. And all you have to do is just claim whatever you like. So if like I even have little white jade ghosts. So if you want one of those, you just say claim white ghost. And then what we do is then we'll send you an invoice via email over PayPal. You pay for it, we ship it, or you can come pick it up. So very, very simple, really easy to do. Crystals.
Going up.
Oh, go ahead.
Dana, crystal to activate and enhance psychic abilities. We have a special set that's coming in the next couple days. I haven't taken a photo of it or anything, but it is on its way. I believe it's coming in on Wednesday or Thursday at the very latest. If anybody's ever heard of the Synergy 12 set, it's the 12 highest vibrational crystals. We have had the entire set in, but we had these big chunks. I mean, the price was astronomical just because of the rarity of a lot of these specimens. So it was going for $11. So it was over $1,100.
Yeah.
I think this set, in fact, is going to be around the $300 range. So they're going to be smaller crystals, but you can actually get the entire set. So a lot of these crystals are, tanzanite, pedalite, moldavite, danburite. I say pedalite.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Scolasite.
Scolasite, yeah.
Yeah. What are the other ones?
Um,
Brookite. Tektite is another one. So I think I'm missing like 3. But yeah, definitely look into the Synergy 12 set, or we do sell a lot of these individually, but if somebody wants the entire set, we're going to have that coming in.
The other one, the best ones for psychic abilities, labradite. So labradite all the way. I know lapis lazuli is another really good one too, but labradite is pretty much like the psychic, the number 1 psychic crystal. So let's see here. Blah. Crystals for high anxiety due to childhood trauma, sexual trauma. Melinda, that would be network jasper. So any of those, red network especially, is actually one of the top ones for that. Lepidolite is another one. And then pink tourmaline would be pretty good with that. Amethyst is always good for anxiety as well. But those would be my top ones. Azestulite, Tish's.
Oh, yes.
Trisha's right.
Yep.
So, any good crystals for preterm babies? Yes, Unakite is excellent. And then I think Shiva Lingam and Kunzite are all really good ones to have. So those are good ones for preterm babies. It helps to kind of not only bond mom and baby, but Unakite really kind of gets them fired up a little bit. And then I would even add some red jasper in there, because red jasper is all about energy and stamina and physicality. So get them stronger, get them hungry so they can grow. All right.
Crystals for motion sickness.
Malachite, I know, is one.
I would say rainbow fluorite, that helps
Rainbow
with
fluorite.
vertigo.
Vertigo, yeah. Rainbow fluorite. And I think tiger eye. I think tiger eye is the other one. So, yep. Those would be the best ones for morning sickness. Is there anything for epilepsy? Yes, Heather. Rutilated gold quartz. So, which basically it's like clear quartz with gold streaks in it. That one helps with kind of getting the brain to function normally. That's a really good one. I would say rainbow fluorite, just like we were talking earlier, rainbow fluorite or any of the fluorites really, especially the purple fluorites would be best for that. Because rainbow fluorite is more for the heart and the head and kind of putting those two emotions together. But more or less for the brain would be more of that purple or that darker type of fluorite. So purple fluorite would be the best one. And
if you read the description on one of my favorite stones, camerite, it does help balance both hemispheres of the brain. So that's actually one of the main bullet points of that specific crystal.
Yeah. So let's see here.
Eating disorders.
Eating disorders would be... it'd be, I want to say jade. I don't know why. No, that's not. Eating disorders. So, well, citrine would be the first one. The second one would be lepidolite. Third one, I'd probably venture into that blue apatite again. So those would be probably my top 3 on that one. I would even include maybe charoite on that one. So I probably would include that one as well. So.
Any crystals to not use in a watch band? We've seen those before. They're on the pricier side. We may try them out in the store, but what crystals would not go well with those?
Really, none of them would.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you wanted it for. So, because if we're talking, I mean, because if it's a certain type of watch, it's usually a quartz watch. It's usually clear quartz that's in a watch to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing really interferes with clear quartz. Clear quartz is the master crystal. It's the master healer. It's it amplifies all the other crystals as well. And you can program it, and you can program clear quartz really easy. And a lot of times people ask me, they're like, how do you program a crystal? I'm like, honestly, you hold it. You hold it and you kind of tell it what you want it to do. And then you literally set it and forget it. So, but that's usually how you program a crystal. I know a lot of people like to do more ritualistic type things. And if that makes you feel more comfortable, you go right ahead. But I keep everything simple. I just hold on to it and say, here's what I need it to do. Put it down, good to go. Should I carry crystals all the time? I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Have you been out in public lately? I do. Any crystals that help with digestive health and stomach issues? Definitely. I'd definitely go with citrine on that one, because citrine is released for that solar plexus. That really helps a lot with that. Yellow quartz is another really good one I'd recommend. Stomach. You know what? I would I'd even add ametrine in that. So ametrine is amethyst and citrine. So it's both. So that's going to help you balance the mind with the stomach. So, and usually people have stomach issues. It's because they're high anxiety or they're really worried about things in their head, almost always due to social anxiety. So they care what people think, or they think people are looking at them, even though logically they know that's not true. So those would be the best ones I would recommend, Micah. Crystals to put on her husband's side of the bed for his anger, Amy. Red tiger eye, I know really helps with that. Red aventurine also helps. And then either black onyx, or I would do black tourmaline would be the other one. Yep, I would do that one too.
I have an assortment of crystal bracelets. When I leave the house, I usually pick whatever is calling me. That okay?
Perfect,
Absolutely.
Christina. That's what I do.
Absolutely.
Perfect. A lot of people are worried about, they want their bracelets to match their shirt, and they're wondering if that's okay. And I'm going to tell you it is, because here's the deal. You're going to wear the color that you're attracted to, but that's the color that you need. So if you're always wearing blue, it usually, when I see people wearing blue all the time, it's because they don't speak their truth. They don't like to speak up. They don't like to say no. Usually my empaths are always wearing blue. Well, then they're going to grab a bracelet to match their shirt, which is exactly what they need anyway. So I always tell people, I'm like, you're naturally going to be drawn to what you need for that day. So, but like I said, it's no different whether you wear them to match your shirt or not. I'm like, either way, you need it for that day. There's a reason why you picked the shirt out in the first place. Brianne, best crystal to keep cancer from coming back.
So with that, we have to be pretty careful, given that, we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Facebook. Okay,
no,
so Facebook has actually set specific parameters. We've been flagged so many times that we can actually count because of some of the healing properties that some of these stones have come out with. And it's crazy. I mean, we could post something as simple as, shungite purifies the water and, it protects against electromagnetic radiation. But they're like, whoa, hold on a second. You can't say that. So we're trying to kind of avoid being flagged. So therefore, if people are able to click on the link, we could talk about some of the mental properties and stuff like that. But some of the physical healing properties is kind of a no-no. So we just brought it back, but we sold out of, I think we had 10 vials last week. We sold out in a matter of a couple hours. I did talk to my gemologist friend, and he's sending me more, and that's also coming in the shipment either on Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll have about enough for about 40 vials, but it's a stone called rhodozite. If you Google rhodozite, all these claims, it's the #1 stone when it comes to either keeping cancer at bay or, helping it go in remission.
Yeah.
But that's the number one. There's other crystals out there, but not as powerful as rhodozite. You can do your research out there, but rhodozite is definitely number one.
Yeah, rhodozite and covalite. Covalite's the other one.
Right.
So that's another really good one that people are turning to for preventative measures. So like I said, I would say covalite. I would add that one to it too.
Yeah. And just stay posted with us on Facebook. I know we're coming out with a humongous announcement on Wednesday night, but Wednesday or Thursday should be the day that the rhodozite is actually coming in. So.
Oh, right. Let's see here. Blue. Best crystals for awakening. I would say some of those higher vibed ones. So like gold, rutilated gold, gold rutilated, can't talk. And other ones like moldavite, tektites, things like that. Those are pretty high vibe, and those will help to align your chakras pretty quick. So I would suggest something like that. Apophyllite wouldn't be too shabby either. What are the best crystals to open the solar plexus and sacral? So Nicole, pretty much anything yellow or orange. So whatever you are attracted to, if you think it's a cool looking crystal, then most than likely that's the one you need. So I always tell adults the same thing when they walk in here. They always want to read the cards and read the information. I'm like, don't. I'm like, be like a kid, look at the crystal. If you think it's a cool looking crystal, then read the meaning behind it. And you're going to be actually pleasantly surprised at why you're like, wow, I really need this one. I'm like, that's why you were drawn to it. So I don't understand when people are like, well, it has to call to you. I'm like, I don't get that. Just go be curious and be like a kid. And if you think it's cool looking, then that's what you need.
Do you have any Upralites? Yeah. We sure do. Yeah, we just actually brought those back from Tucson. Back in April.
Yeah. I was like a little giddy schoolgirl. I'm like, Upralites, they have Upralites. He said, what are they? I'm like, oh, they're so cool. So, and I brought him to him. He's like, these are you.
But when you went inside the tent, they had lights.
Yeah, they had a black light and you could see them glow. So they're actually really cool crystals. They really are, but they glow underneath a black light. So they're just neat. They're really cool looking. Let's see. Should 4 shungite pyramids be placed on lower level of split house or upstairs? We spend more time upstairs, lower level. Yep, put them at the lower level, because not only does it help to kind of ground you a little bit, but shungite will help prevent EMF. So if you live near like a lot of power lines, you're going to want to put 4 shungite pyramids in your basement. I have huge shungite pyramids in my basement. So like our house is Fort Knox. So I don't want any ghosts coming in. I don't want any dead people coming in, and I don't want any EMF or 5G radiation stuff coming in. So like I said, I have big, huge pyramids of shungite downstairs in the basement in 4 corners of our basement. So crystals to purify and structure water. Dana, that would be shungite clear quartz. Clear quartz will do it too. I don't know if you guys have never done that, but if you stick a little piece of clear quartz in a bottle of water and just leave it there for about 15 minutes, it will actually change the taste of the water. The water actually gets sweet. So it's really cool. If you've never done it, just a little tiny, like even seed for like, I think we sell those at $2.22 here. So give it a shot, try it. I think you'll be really surprised.
The word of advice though, before you put any crystals inside water, you can ask us or do your own research. But I remember and I recall last week, somebody had asked over Facebook if rhodozite, the cancer crystal, is safe to place inside water. It is not. So that's because
there's certain crystals that have,
there's certain crystals that you shouldn't even really touch with your hands.
Right. But things, like malachite and things like that. There's iron, hematite, things like that you don't want to put in your water. So, but clear quartz or amethyst or rose quartz, those are pretty safe. You can go ahead and put those in your water. That's fine. So, because when you put a crystal inside water and you let it sit for a little while, it creates what's called an elixir. And so when you drink the water, it changes the vibration or the property of the water. So it's no different than if you held that water in your hands and you said something like, I love you, or, thank you. When you do that to water, you're actually changing the structure of the water. So when you drink it, it's of higher vibration. So it's really cool stuff. And if you don't feel safe, or if you don't quite know if that crystal would be safe, and because some things are like Tiger eye, they said it's safe. I wouldn't put that in my water. I wouldn't. So instead, what you can do is you can have your bottle, but put it on the outside and have it pointing in. So it'll still have that same property. So you don't have to necessarily put it in, but you can put it on the outside in 1, 3, 6, 9, 12 in those types. So you're kind of making a grid basically. So good stuff. I was gifted a cool, clear crystal cluster. What's a great place to put it? Also, feng shui girl, have an idea to put in the center of the house. Actually, a clear quartz to have in that center of the house isn't a bad idea. So, because really, Sherry, you want to put clear quartz where you feel like there's dead energy. So, because clear quartz moves the energy of a room. So, whenever you put a piece of clear quartz in it, it helps to move the energy of a room so it doesn't feel stagnant. Because clear quartz is one of those that you can put just about anywhere. But that one isn't a bad one to put in the middle of your house. I'm coming to Awakenings on Thursday with my daughter. Yay!
This one up above. Best crystals to connect to higher self. That's kind of a tricky one because I think a lot of times, a lot of us, we may need a specific crystal. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's more or less for grounding because maybe our other chakras are, right in line. Yeah. And I think it might vary from time to time.
For that one, especially when you're talking about meditation and stuff like that, really I would still go with the labradorite. I really would. I know that some of those higher vibe ones, again, like moldavite, tektites. What are some other higher vibe ones? I know scoliolite is a pretty high vibe one. Danburite's a pretty good one. So any of those are high enough vibration that it should tap you in to be able to, while you're in a meditative state, to be able to kind of get to that higher self. Mm-hmm.
Christina, might have to try that in my water tomorrow. Does the water container matter?
Not necessarily. No. I mean, ultimately, yeah, you want glass, but I put clear quartz in my, in my plastic bottle water. It's fine. So I haven't noticed anything different. So yeah, any other questions? These are good questions. Are you getting any Herkimer bracelets? That's you.
Not that I ordered today, but tomorrow it might be a different story. Yeah. Now the Herkimer diamond bracelets that we've seen, now they're jagged because again, they're the actual diamond, but when we get the bracelets in, I was thinking that they were just going to poke right into your skin and pretty much hurt, and they don't.
No,
they're actually really comfortable.
Yeah.
So, but yep, that's actually, it'll be next on my radar. I just did another exotic bracelet order just right before this, so I don't think the Herkimers were actually part of that though. But aww. Everybody knows, everybody sees the posts every week. We're always getting new stuff in.
Didn't you get one that was like tumbled Herks?
No, remember that was Pakistan phantom quartz. That was a type of of Herkimer, but it's not the actual Herkimer from Herkimer, New York.
Yeah. So that's why they're named Herkimers, is because they're from Herkimer, New York. Mm-hmm. So the places where we got 2 vendors that are actually in Herkimer, New York, that we get our crystals from. So that's kind of nice.
Sherry, sorry, me again. Got a piece of Vanite. Cannot remember what it is for.
Vanite's kind of a higher vibe one, but it really helps with uterine issues, like especially menstruation, ovulation. A lot of times my ladies are really attracted to Vanite when they're going through menopause. So a lot of times that's usually what they're kind of almost attracted to. But uterine issues, it is still a pretty high vibe one as well. So it does help to open up the crown chakra. And then it really helps with creativity. It's a big pusher for creativity. So, but Vanite's really cool. If you guys have never seen it, it's just a really sparkly type of crystal. They're not that cheap. They're kind of pricey, but man, they really do sparkle. I like them. So, do amethysts have any power? Oh yeah. Yeah, amethyst is a really, it's just kind of amethyst is one of those blanket crystals where it does a lot. I mean, it's very multi-purpose, helps great with people with addiction and addictive personalities or addictive things. It's a strong detoxer to help you detox off of addiction. It really helps with anxiety. That's pretty well the number one that's going to help with anxiety as well. It helps to open up that third eye in the crown. It does help with like headaches, migraines, things like that. So all kinds of different stuff. But that's really multi-purposed, and that's actually on one of the top 10. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I did do a top 10 crystal that I highly recommend that everybody should have, and amethyst is actually one of those. So
I like Brianne's question. How do I tell the difference between all of my black crystals? So sometimes it can be a little tricky between a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of messages on Facebook with, just a photo that was taken with the BlackBerry, and it's very difficult without seeing it in the naked eye. I will tell you, so on my black mala, it's not just one stone. It's a wide variety of different rounding stones. Numite has a lot of gold flakes inside of it. They're iridescent flakes, and that stone only comes from Greenland. Tibetan tektite is an interesting one. If you ever see it up close with the naked eye as a bracelet form, you would think that it's black obsidian or black onyx. But the way that you're actually able to tell it's actual Tibetan tektite is if you hold it up in the sun, or if you put a flashlight next to it, it's transparent. You can see right through it. Black tourmaline, however, black tourmaline, you won't see a lot of malas that are made with black tourmaline. And the reason why is not only because of the weight, but because it's a much brittle stone. And when you make a mala, and a lot of times people will wear the weight of the mala around their neck or with a thick elastic cord. Well, to get a thicker elastic cord in something like a mala, the hole has to be drilled bigger than just a standard 7.5 inch, 8 millimeter bracelet. Okay, so the thing is with black tourmaline, it's brittle. It can break off a lot easier. Now, getting into black obsidian and black onyx, those are extremely, extremely hard. Now, obsidian again is a form of glass, right? So how do you tell the difference between the two?
Weight.
Mm-hmm.
The weight. But the onyx usually sometimes has a band through it. So, because that's an easy one for me to tell is that banded onyx. Because almost always you'll see that band, whereas tourmaline has more of lines through it. Even if it's tumbled, if you really look at it, it's got the lines. So that's how I can tell. But the obsidian, that one it's usually almost always really nice and smooth, really, really nice and smooth. And then jet is really light. So,
and then you have hematite, which is black, super heavy.
Yeah.
Shungite is a lot of times going to rub off on you.
Yeah, you'll see the black will be on your fingers, because anybody here that works here, they're like, you do the shungite tower. No, you do it. Like, we literally draw straws to the shungite tower to clean it, because you get done, your hands are black, and your face and everything else. So it's kind of funny, but shungite really, is kind of dirty. It's just dirty.
And then one of the new exotics that we just got in today that we just placed out is Shamanite. And Shamanite is also known as black calcite. It's much rarer than blue or red or yellow or green calcite. Those you can pretty much find everywhere, and a lot of that stuff is in Mexico. What other black stones?
That's about it, really. We have quite a few.
Yeah.
We have that Apache tier and all the tektites and things like that.
Somebody was mentioning in the comments above about azestulite. Azestulite does come in a variety of different colors. We even have a tricolor azestulite in one of our exotic cases. And then what just got ordered today is black azestulite, which we have never had before.
I've never seen that. Crystals help focus on task and not get distracted. Katie, rainbow fluorite. By far, rainbow fluorite. So that and anything black or red, again, we want to ground, which is being logical. But rainbow fluorite is the best one to kind of keep that focus going on. Crystals, let's see here. What do I see? Hormone balance. Chrysoprase is a really good one for hormone. Rainbow moonstone, or any of the moonstones, really are good for the hormone balance. Unakite would be another one that would be pretty good, but chrysoprase is always the hormone one. So that's an easy one. What crystals are good at cleansing negative energy? Brian, black tourmaline all the way. So black tourmaline, black obsidian, onyx, garnet. So those are the really good ones. Best crystals for shadow work, Shelby. Oh, shadow work. So honestly, any of the jaspers, really most jaspers help you to kind of get your emotional shit together so you can really break everything down. So any of the darker colored jaspers are going to be great. Another one would be, I would recommend rose quartz. And the reason why is because we're the most critical on ourselves. And rose quartz will help to give you compassion for yourself, not to be so critical. So I would say something along that line too. Pink tourmaline would be another good one as well. So because that it helps you to open that heart to really transmute that energy and finally get rid of it. So crystal to keep over the top of the door to keep negativity from entering. Mary, there's actually a few things. One, anything with iron in it. So tiger iron would be great because iron is extremely grounding. And that's why they would always put iron fences around graveyards. It wasn't to keep people out. It was actually to keep spirit in. And the reason why it said that spirit can't cross over iron because it grounds them too hard. So that's why a lot of times they would put horseshoes above doors. It wasn't for good luck, believe it or not. It was to keep spirits out of your door because it's so grounding, they weren't able to pass through your door frame. So, but anything with iron. So like I said, tiger iron is a really good one. I know, I don't think hematite has it. But another one would be terahertz. And then of course, black tourmaline. So those would be all really good ones. What crystals for someone who works in psych to help with feeling drained after a shift of mental patience? Good Lord, Melissa, I am so sorry. Whoa, I couldn't do your job. Oh no. So first things first is I would go with the rose quartz right off the bat. I would. Get
What?
it?
No, you get it.
It's a mosquito. I'm like, swear, we're getting eaten alive. Did you get it?
Let's say I got it.
I'm gonna get big. So thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, those would be geez, I'm trying to think of what else.
From a physical standpoint, if you feel like not only emotionally but physically drained, Heliodor.
Heliodor. I'm trying to think. I would, weirdly enough, I would almost go with garnet on that one because garnet not only grounds you, it helps to keep your empathy in check, but it also is a pretty good protector as well. So if I had to pick one, believe it or not, I'd probably pick garnet. I would definitely do like black onyx, black obsidian, something like that to, again, keep you grounded. And then something like malachite, green aventurine, rose quartz to regulate your heart chakra. So it's not open and you're feeling everybody else's crap. Outside of that, then, Melissa, I would tell you salt baths are going to be your friend. So not Epsom salt, sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt, kosher salt, black salt, table salt. So because Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. So it's actually really not a salt. So you really want like a salty bath. So usually when I take a salt bath, it's a good 2 cups. Like I like it salty. But it really helps, especially before I go to bed at night, to recharge my batteries so I don't feel so damn drained. Let's see, asking for a friend who has repetitive migraines. Marcy, I would say lapilladite is pretty good. Lapis lazuli, amethyst, charoite, fluorite, any of the fluorites. Those are really good for migraines. Crystal for sinus ear issues. That would be sodalite, dumamormarite.
You can never pronounce that.
I can't.
I don't even try to attempt it.
No. And then the other one would be aquamarine. Aquamarine always helps with the throat and ear connection. How about anything calming down an overactive mind? So that would be charoite. Yeah, that'd be charoite for number 1. And then red fire or fire quartz. Am I saying that right?
Fire quartz.
Not fire quartz.
Red fire agate?
Red
hematoid?
Red hematoid is the same as
fire agate.
Fire agate. Yeah, fire agate. That's the one. So I always get that one confused with the other one. So
You start carrying them in your pocket.
but those would be the top two, believe it or not. They really help with people like me with ADD, ADHD. But shower white's always the number one for that one. And would you use black onyx or obsidian for this as well? I would, Brian. So I will tell you that, yeah, fire quartz. Whenever I have to go to shopping with anybody or anything, I have to have something black, whether that's hematite, onyx, obsidian, something, or red or black. And the reason why is because if I don't, especially if I'm in a strange place, my auric field goes out too far. And like I said, I'm feeling everybody's crap, and I don't want to read people when I'm shopping. I got my own crap. I don't want to read yours. So that's why a lot of times there's even days that I can't go shopping because it's too much. So I have to send him. So another days I'm totally fine. So it just depends on the day, honestly. Any other questions? These are good questions. Good stuff. Good stuff. And like I said, if you guys are just now chiming in, Saturday, 7 p.m. It's supposed to be from 7 to 9. I got lots of stuff, so it might go a little past 9. But I have like really cool stuff. So I got like moonstone with sunstone. Normally those two don't grow together, but I've got these gorgeous spheres with like lots of flash, and they're really, really cool. So I'm so excited to show everybody. Okay.
I just got some lapis lazuli and it turned my skin blue. Is that normal? No, that's not normal. Where did you get that from?
Hopefully not us, because that's dyed.
Mm-hmm.
That's fake.
Some crystals out there are, and we've been duped before. We put it out on the floor.
Oh, yes.
We got a batch of malachite in. It was plastic. We got blue sapphire bracelets in without me even trying them on. I'm like, wow, these are so great. And then we found out that they are sapphire, but they were enhanced. And a lot of times people don't like that.
No,
I don't
like it.
No, it's no different. I mean, to each their own, right?
Yeah, it's just that she got it here, so now I'm going to go through stuff. Was it a bracelet, or I need to know if it was a bracelet or if it was tumbled, because if it is, I'm going on the floor and pulling. So, because like I said, no, that is not normal.
Mm-mm.
And we've been duped before to where, and a lot of times, like, I'll wear it just to make sure it doesn't dye my skin. So,
but the lapis is a common one. It's not like an exotic where it's hard to tell.
Right.
But the lapis we always
Tumbled.
get.
Okay,
tumbled.
I'll check it out. So I'm on it. I'm on it. So, because like I said, bracelets are usually where we get duped. But like I said, we've gotten malachite in that I literally opened the package. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This is fake. So and a lot of times when we have like different odd ones, we'll give them to the kids. I didn't even give these to the kids. I'm like, nope. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and sometimes also when you find what seems like too good of a deal, it probably is. So that's why with our, a lot with our exotics, I only go through a certified gemologist that I know is 100%. So every time, including a package that I got today from him, and he doesn't need to put them in, but he always puts in one of his certifiable cards that, hey, everything in this box is as real as it gets. So I'm like, It's okay. I get it. Crystals for muscle spasms or nerve issues.
I know aquamarine is a pretty good one. I would go with probably chrysocolla and bloodstone. So those would be probably the top ones that I would go with for both the muscle and the nerve. So halite isn't too shabby either for those, but bloodstone would be probably the one that I'm going to go to. Chrysocolla is a really good one as well. Best crystal gift for a wedding gift? Ooh, I know this one. What's yours? Because we all have different opinions. So
don't you need to get something blue?
Oh gosh.
What?
Are you talking like something new, used, blue, or whatever?
Yeah, isn't that still a thing? So, we didn't do that, but we didn't tell anybody we got married either.
Well, no, okay. So the best wedding, believe it or not, ruby, garnet, rose quartz. Those are the top 3. So those are going to be top 3 that you're going to want as a gift. Usually the best bang for your buck is going to be garnet or rose quartz. So I would go with that. So I know that somebody just came in this last weekend wanting a wedding gift as well. And she ended up buying a rose quartz flame. So it's great. So any of those are going to be your top 3. The other thing that people have given as wedding gifts is like clear quartz clusters, and then selenite towers, like with a lamp inside of it. So there's lots of different ones. Those would be my top ones. Nicole was asking, what is flash? It's when you're able to like turn that crystal and it like reflects light back to you. So moonstone is really good. Any of the like the black moonstone, the peach moonstone, all those moonstones have a lot of flash. Same with labradite. That's why you can kind of angle it and it really gets bright and flashy. So when I say flash, that's what I mean by that, is that it reflects light back to you and it kind of, well, sparkles, and girls like sparkle and glitter a lot. Let's see, anything available to help with someone with Parkinson's? I gotta think of that one. I'm still gonna go with the chrysoprase. That'd be nerves. Oh, geez. Let's see here, lapillidite. I'd add lapillidite in there. What do you think?
Parkinson's.
So, jade. I would go with the jade. So, and not necessarily green jade. I'd actually go with more the lemon or the yellow jade on that one. So those would be the best. Those would be my top ones to suggest. When I was a little kid, I thought horseradish was made from real horses. That's about that. That reminds me of you trying to bribe Paige and with wasabi.
Oh yeah.
So yikes. Tig, what's a good crystal for stress? Amethyst.
They call that the anti-anxiety stone.
Yeah, that's the best one. The other one I would add is lapillidite. I would add probably purple fluorite. Yeah, that'd be it. So dopamine problem, Parkinson's. Yeah. So the dopamine would be anything with the third eye chakra, which would be anything like that purple or a dark blue. So I would do anything with purple or dark blue for that dopamine issue. My husband has had very vivid dreams wearing green kyanite, never takes it off. Kyanite's a pretty high vibey one. So kyanite actually,
it helps with psychic abilities.
Yeah, it does. Kyanite is one of those that that does help. And I'll tell you, usually if I'm going to carry one crystal when I'm doing readings, 9 times out of 10, believe it or not, it's blue kyanite for me. And the reason why is it helps with my clairaudient or the ability to hear spirit, because I can see them just fine. Some days I could hear them, but they sound like wah 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 wah. So if I get a piece of black kyanite or blue kyanite and put it in my pocket, it just opens it up, and I'm able then to speak to spirit pretty easy. So, but I like my kyanites, and there's orange kyanite, black, blue, green. We even have some that's green, blue, and black together. So yeah, we have all different kinds. What's my view on Lemurian crystals? I love them. I love them a lot. Lemurian crystals have striations or like, striations all the way around the crystal, not necessarily one side, but all the way around. And it said that if you hold on to it while you meditate, which you're going to want to hold on to it with your left hand. If you hold on to it while you're meditating, you're supposed to be able to kind of get a hold of the secrets from ancient Lemuria. It's weird because I would think that you would need two, because here's the deal. Here's where my brain goes is whenever I think of Lemurian, I would want one in my right hand because right is your giving hand. I would want a crystal, a point to go out, and I would want a crystal then on the left to go in. What that does is creates a circuit. And so if you're holding on to these, and you can have your hands closed if you want to, when you're doing that, it creates a bit of a circuit. And I would really think that that would be able to absolutely help you tap in a meditative state to discover some of those ancient secrets when it comes to Lemuria. So, but I always tell people, ask a question before you meditate. If you're looking for an answer, don't expect it to happen while you're meditating. It very well could happen later on in the day. So a lot of people don't realize that they're wanting their meditation to go a certain way. And I'm like, and when you do that, I'm going to tell you that you're going to get disappointed every single time. Don't do it. So ask the question before you meditate, or ask the question before you go to bed. You will get an answer almost always within about 48 hours. So you really will. And almost everybody sees it. They're like, oh my gosh, there it is. And I'm like, well, yeah. And then they call me and they're asking me if that's really what it was. I'm like, well, yeah, you asked. So ask and ye shall receive. Just ask. Let's see. Holding blue kyanite makes me a little restless. Any idea why? Gianna, that's a pretty high vibe one. So what's that doing is that when you're holding on to it, it raises your vibration very quickly. And as a result, you get kind of a response. And that's why you feel a little bit shaky in your hands, chest, and feet. I know some people, when they walk into awakenings, also feel that because of the vibration here is pretty high. And so if you're not expecting that, a lot of times people kind of get flushed, or they feel sick, or they get really shaky. We tell people, if that happens, let the staff know. We have a chair. We'll literally give you 2 pieces of black tourmaline just to sit down with, and it really, it'll kind of bring you down a little bit, so you're not feeling quite so nauseous. And because, like I said, you go from a certain vibration to a higher vibration really quickly, and your body has a hard time responding to that, because the soul and the mind, hey, that's good, but your body's like, whoa, like we can't respond that fast, and that's why you're going to have that response. So a lot of the higher vibe crystals will do that. That's like moldavite, tektites are pretty high vibe, things like that. So you will feel that way. It's pretty common. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on using golden healer quartz points in circuit for communication versus energy healing? Well, I think it'd be great. So it honestly, because energy healing is, either way, it's the same. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's your intent. You're not intending to hurt anybody. You're intending to heal them. So if you're creating a circuit with you and then you're going in for healing energy work, great. So if you're choosing to hold on to those things and direct that healing energy while you're sitting down, or even doing a distance healing, great. So I think that's a good idea. Not too shabby. Let's see here. I get visions while dreaming, but I'm unable to hear what's being said and have trouble recalling the message dream. Would kyanite be the best one for helping me? No, I wouldn't sleep with kyanite. So I would go for the blue lace agate on that one, because blue lace agate is very calming, very, very soothing. And that way, it's the reason why I say blue lace agate is because you have to remember there's 5 different psychic abilities. There's clairvoyance and clairaudience. So if you're not naturally clairaudient, well, you're not going to hear people talking in your dream. You're only going to be able to see them. So by having a piece of blue lace agate will help to open up that throat chakra, therefore activating your clairaudient and ability to hear spirit. So it's very common to forget your dreams upon waking up. So I always tell people, say it out loud or write it down. I don't do dream journals. I'm too uncoordinated in the morning. So usually I'm like, ladder, water, spiders. And then I roll over and go to bed. And usually tick him off, because then he's up. So, but he'll remember. Okay. Let's see here. Crystals for joint pain, ankles, anything black or red, but usually more red on that one. And I would even say, probably red. I'd say red jasper for sure. Brecciated jasper might be actually a pretty good one as well. Mahogany obsidian would be another one for those ankles. Best crystal for travel. Malachite. We actually have a crystal kit for
Malachite's
travel.
included in that.
Yeah, malachite, tiger eye. Yeah, yeah, tiger eye is a really good one. They're very protective crystals. And then the other one is, I do believe there is amethyst in there to help with the anxiety. So, but we do have a crystal kit specifically for travel. So it was whenever one of my kids gets a car, like they all get one of those little kits. It's like they have to keep it in their car because it keeps them safe. Let's see. I was tripping over my own feet at awakenings. I trip over my own feet just at home. He's laughing because it's true.
That's the truth.
Best crystals for lipoma. Skin.
Yeah.
It'd be skin, and that would be ocean jasper. I would say ocean jasper on that one. Sapphire would not be too shabby on that as well. And I would say pink Botswana agate. So those would be it for that one. Crystals for joint, arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hands. Kelli, I would go with, oh man, I gotta think. I would actually go with, weirdly enough, azurite and malachite together. Like that combination.
Mm-hmm.
K2 wouldn't be too bad. I'm trying to think. Azurite. I would go the azurite malachite mix. And then I'd add blue lace agate in there too. So crystal's best ones for opening up the mediumship. I would say gold rutilated labradorite still is a really good one. Lapis is a pretty high vibe one when it comes to psychic abilities. Amethyst is always really kind of the go-to.
Danbarite. And pedalite.
Yep. Pedalite's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree on that one too. And Lisa, that goes pretty well with the ones that we were talking about earlier, which is that ocean jasper for the cuff shoulder. And then the other thing I would even add in that would be, the ocean jasper, the amazonite. So I would do amazonite and chrysocolla. Those would be my top ones for that, for the cuff, the shoulder. My son. Oh, Vicki, I don't know. I'm not doing readings, honey. We're just talking crystals. How do I know the difference between tiger eye and tiger iron? Mary, the difference with tiger iron is it has hematite. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
So tiger eye is usually just kind of, it's a really pretty flashy or reflective yellow with black. Tiger iron is yellow, black with that gray, and it's a lot heavier.
Mm-hmm.
So tiger iron is a lot heavier. There's definitely a difference in the feel to it as far as the weight. And tiger iron is it's a lot more grounding. So, it's a lightning bug. I'll let him slide. Let's see. Best crystals for self-confidence. Yellow quartz,
Tiger
eye, and citrine. Best for lung issues. Amazonite, chrysoprase, rose quartz isn't too bad. Green aventurine. Those would be my top ones for that. Friend just had a baby, and I would love to get something for the nursery. Best safe for the baby. Rose quartz all the way, Sasha. Rose quartz. The other one would be clear quartz is always safe. Unakite is another really good one, and kunzite. So those would be the top for those.
Let's say howlite for sleep too.
Howlite. Oh, howlite. Yeah. Howlites are really just anybody who's had insomnia issues. Howlite is number one. The second one on that one would be selenite. Have to go to my stepson's wedding this weekend. What crystal would help me with keep his bitter, angry mother in check? Oh, black tourmaline all the way, honey. Black tourmaline. So, because it rids negativity. And so usually they'll stay the hell away from you. And not only that, Kelli, I would just say before you go to the wedding, just be like, you know what? I'm going to put a bubble around me. I'm going to put a bubble around her, and we're just going to have a good time. So that way you're not putting your energy into something that you don't want. So like I said, black tourmaline will help kind of keep that one at bay, and then bubbling up is really going to help as well. Also good crystal for encouraging doctor to listen to me. Those are so frustrating. Anything blue, because again, blue is going to open up, especially sodalite will help to open up that throat chakra so they can hear you. And I'll tell you what, it's really frustrating, Kelli, when doctors don't listen. I will tell you, keep going to different doctors until they listen, especially when it comes to autoimmune stuff. So they always like, oh, here's some anti-anxiety or antidepressive shit. And you're like, no, I don't have anxiety or depression. My body isn't working right. And I'm telling you it's not. So go to a doctor who will listen to you. And if that means that you got to go to 5 different ones until you find the right one, so be it. So, but sodalite's going to help to open up the throat to be able to, for them to hear you. Aquamarine, blue lace agate would be others as well. Shannon, crystal for a 6-year-old that won't sit still, has a bit of anger, and doesn't always like to listen. That's pretty common for teenagers too. Okay, let's see here. I would go with Red Tiger Eye. Would be the number one to kind of really hit all of them. Fire Quartz, and then Charoite. Those would be the top 3 for that. But Red Tiger Eye is probably the number one there on that one. Charoite would be number 2. Any other questions? It's 8 o'clock already.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we just got started. So, well, I guess we'll just kind of end it there. There's no more, just double check it. No more questions. Ooh. Yeah. Yep. I think that's it. Okay. So before I let you guys go, number one, like I said, we are going to have a big announcement on Wednesday. It's going to be at 8:30 on the Awakenings Facebook page. So we're just going to do a live video there. We'll do it live. Like I said, it's 8:30 Central Time. And then Saturday, beginning at 7 p.m., we will have a live crystal gem show that we will be offering 20% off. So it was 15%, and I begged him to let me do 20, and he said yes. Ha! So we'll get to do that. And then that'll be like I said, Saturday night. So if you don't have anything going on Saturday night, grab a cocktail and meet me on the Awakenings Facebook page Saturday night, 7 p.m. And we will show you the really freaking cool crystals. If you haven't liked that event, I'm going to tell you to go in and say that you're like going to the event, because not for any other reason other than I am posting the pictures inside that event. So that way you can get kind of a sneak peek on what I'm going to be showing on Saturday night. So I'll post that event on my Facebook page and then Awakenings Facebook page just as soon as we're done here. So that way you guys can go ahead and like it. And then, like I said, I'm posting already stuff that I'm going to be showing, such as like Sugilite. What else do I have? I've got like fossil shells. I've got petrified wood. I got all kinds of stuff, and it's so cool. So, all right, guys, hope that you get to see me on, like I said, Wednesday and Saturday night. And in the meantime, hang in there. Mercury finally goes direct tomorrow. So we're almost at a Mercury retrograde. We're almost there. All right. So we got one more day and things should start getting easier. All righty, guys. Well, have a wonderful week ahead, and we will be in touch. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.